Trudeau appoints more partisan hacks. I'm Brian Lilley with the Rebel.media. Justin Trudeau loves to say that he and his government, well, they appoint people to positions from judges to the Senate to the full range of boards and commissions based on one thing and one thing alone. And that one thing is merit.
The appointments we make are based on merit and reflect the full diversity of this country. We continue to follow processes which include opportunities for committees to weigh in, which include votes in the House for officers of Parliament, and demonstrate the kind of openness and transparency that Canadians voted for when they elected this government.
But of course, if you look at the full list of their appointments, you quickly realize that being a Liberal donor, a Liberal candidate, or a washed-up Liberal politician, that's one of the best ways to get an appointment from this government. Look, I get it. It's politics. This is how things are done, and I don't mind parties putting their people in key positions. But I'm not the one running around the country claiming all my positions are based on merit. In fact, every time I hear Trudeau say that, well, it reminds me of that great scene from The Princess Bride.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
So what am I basing my accusation towards Trudeau on? Well, let's start with his latest appointment. The PM just appointed Jennifer McIntyre as Canada's Ambassador of Climate Change. Yeah, that's right. We have an ambassador to climate change. Why would I mock that idea? Why would I make fun of that? Well, I don't know, maybe because we have a minister for environment and climate change. Why do we need an ambassador? It's not like the ambassador is going to a country. There's no country named climate change. So where will the ambassador be stationed? In the minister's office. Essentially, we just hired a permanent play date for Minister Catherine McKenna. And why do that? Because a Liberal needs a job. Before joining the Foreign Affairs Department, Ms. McIntyre was a PMO staffer for Jean Chrétien. From her bio, Ms. McIntyre served as special assistant to the Prime Minister, responsible for international visits and summits before joining the Department of Foreign Affairs and International Trade in 2003. Back in the Chrétien days, there was a special deal to give political staffers easy entry and preferential treatment for public service jobs. And it looks like McIntyre took advantage of that. Also looks like she's a Liberal donor, giving money to the Liberal Party and, shockingly, to Ken Dryden's leadership campaign. Really? Ken Dryden? Great goalie, bad politician. And of course, if you look at her Twitter feed, it's full of retweets of Liberal ministers, Liberal minister after Liberal minister. And she bursts with joy with every Liberal missive. But don't worry, this is what Trudeau calls a merit-based appointment. And it's just the latest one. Let's look at some of the others. There was Madeleine Mayer. She was a former Ontario Liberal cabinet minister appointed as Official Languages Commissioner. That appointment, as an officer of Parliament, someone that's supposed to be able to hold the government of the day to account, well, it was too much. The outcry was too loud. Mayer had to step aside because it was far too partisan. You couldn't have a Liberal holding Liberals to account. But if you remember my previous stories about her appointment, her testimony before committee, then you'll recall she told people that she got the job by calling Jerry Butts, Trudeau's principal secretary, and asking him about getting a job. And, well, of course, she also took Trudeau's chief of staff, Katie Telford, out for coffee. And, of course, she donated to Trudeau's leadership campaign. Merit-based, though. Mayer's former Ontario cabinet colleague, Dwight Duncan, well, he also retired from Ontario politics, but it wasn't long before his Liberal connections got him a posting to the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority for a 5-year term. It's supposed to be a non-partisan, merit-based appointment, but he was recently in trouble for tweeting attacks at Donald Trump, at Andrew Scheer and other federal conservatives, and of course, Patrick Brown and the Ontario PCs. But don't worry, all of this is merit-based.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I wish that was all there was, but of course there is more. David McNaughton was the chair of the Liberal Party federal campaign for the province of Ontario in the last election. After the election, what did he get? Well, he was appointed our ambassador to the United States. Merit-based, I'm sure. When Trudeau wanted John McCallum and Stéphane Dion out of his cabinet, he made them ambassadors with all the pay and perks that come with that. Of course, then again, merit-based. Then there's failed candidates like Jennifer Stebbing. She ran for the Liberals in the last election. She lost. Trudeau appointed her to the Hamilton Port Authority. She's already on the record saying she's going to run again, but she was still appointed to the Port Authority. Merit-based, of course. Debbie Zimmerman was appointed to the Buffalo and Fort Erie Public Bridge Authority. Former Liberal MLA from Alberta, Laurie Blakeman, was appointed to the Veterans Review and Appeals Board. All of these, of course, are simply merit-based appointments. Their connections, their liberal pedigrees, it doesn't mean a thing. I could go on and on and on if I wanted to, but you get the point. Trudeau, like he does on so many things, he says one thing, he does another. When a political party takes office, it's their right to appoint whomever they see fit to fill the appointments. And most of the time, those postings will align with the politics of the party in power. That's fine. That's how it should be. But Trudeau said he wouldn't do that. He said he would do things different. He said he would base all of his appointments on merit, and he isn't. Essentially, he's pissing on our legs and telling us it's raining. Another Trudeau lie, another broken promise. I shouldn't be shocked anymore, but I am. If you like the Rebel video you just watched, make sure you never miss another Rebel video again. Click here to subscribe, and of course, subscribe to Rebel Canada's YouTube channel so you can get all the Trudeau news the other guys don't want to print.